Hey guys, welcome back to the Winter's Little Farm Journey. It's pretty awesome to have you guys back. So it's been a while, I guess, since I've actually made a video about the things I do around the farm. It's been kind of quite busy and complicated around here. Anyways, we had the storm, we had our roof redone, and so we have a new roof in the house, and then on the shed as well. So you guys can see back there. I don't know if we can pick it up in the video. I'll show you guys later if not. But there's an area that I'm building next to the goats, and that's going to be a bigger area for the goats to be able to go out and eat and roam and have more room. The area that I first closed with them, it was like 50 by 60, and this new area I'm building is 100 by 200. So they're gonna have like 20,000 square feet. They can roam around and stuff. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, another thing I did, I put this trellis on Kelly's garden. We noticed she and I were not sure like which plants needed a trellis, but honestly she ended up planting a lot of stuff here, like beans and beans and pickles, and then there's some other stuff in here that needs a trellis. So if you can see, this garden bed is like overgrown, but it's coming along. And then you got so that's why we added this trellis. It's not going to help us much this year, but you know, hopefully next year when we plan, it's going to be better. Now, pretty cool. These are sugar babies right here. If you guys, the camera can pick it up. I don't want to rip it off the plant. There's a sugar baby right here growing. There's like one of those little watermelons. There's another big one somewhere. I'm gonna try to show it to you guys. Oh, here it is. I found it. So there's Lida. Likes to hide in the plants. But then here's this sugar baby. Look at this guy. It's awesome to see him grow like this. So got tomatoes. There's some tomatoes growing here. Then you got your squash. I didn't like the squash. Kelly made me try it, but it was okay. It wasn't too bad. You got the corn growing right here, and then you got our blackberries. You got one growing there, pretty nice. And you got the other four kind of growing up. So yeah, I mean, a little bit. So today, what I'm gonna do, actually, you guys know I told you I was gonna. When you guys saw my video about the hay equipment, and honestly, I gotta be honest with you guys, it's not the first time I've done it. This is actually gonna be the second time I'm gonna harvest hay. The reason I had to do the first video the first time is because I'd never done it, so I didn't really have to deal with the camera and stuff. So, but you know, I feel a little more confident this time. This is my second time that's gonna be cutting the hay and making hay bales. But you can see there's the alfalfa field. It's all ready to be harvested. Actually, might be a little bit past the harvest time. You're supposed to harvest it when it's started to bloom. You know, you shouldn't let the alfalfa bloom too much. And as you can see, this one has already bloomed. So it's still good stuff. It's just that, you know, you're supposed to harvest it before, like when it starts blooming. I guess that's where the most nutritious value of the hay would be. But at the same time, you have to harvest whenever the weather allows it. And it's been raining here and there. And I noticed, like, for me to be safe, especially with alfalfa because it's so thick, it takes longer time to dry. So I'm looking for a window about 4 days, you know, so that'll give me a day to cut. It'll give me the rest of that day to dry. Maybe the next 2 days we'll let it dry, then we'll rake it up and then we'll bale it. But we can't bale the hay when it's too wet. That'll be a bad thing. But yeah, this right here, this area I was telling you guys about. So I dug up all the holes, we put the poles in place, and I started setting them in. I'm not rushing this one just because the goats do have an area where they're safe and they got room right now to roam. So what I've been doing is I've been setting the posts a couple at a time. You know, the first day I set 100 feet here. It's just I'm not trying to kill myself at the same time either doing this. So I got, hello Bucky. Hey buddy, what you doing, Buckaroo? It's Bucky doing his work. He has a little pool back there. Got our girls in the corner eating their hay. Hey ladies, Hella and Valkyrie and Donkey. Yeah, and that's my favorite, Lolly. Don't tell anybody, but Lolly's my favorite. Little baby, she's the youngest. So, there's Bucky doing his work. I am pretty happy with Bucky. He's doing a really good job. He's used to the goats, and he's used to Natasha and Elena, which are the cats that stay here with them in the shed. But Tony and Lila, he's not really used to them. So it's really nice to see him that he barks when he sees like an animal that he's not familiar with. Because means he's doing his job, right? He's watching our flock and guarding our animals. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go grab the tractor. We're gonna hook up the mower, and then we'll go and start cutting and make a video on that. All right, so I'm gonna put you guys here for a little bit and then go get the tractor. Hey guys, so actually this drum mower is one of the heaviest piece of equipment that I have so far that I have to hook up to doing hay. So this one takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit more labor to get it hooked up. But once you get it hooked up, you gotta come here and then you gotta adjust it so it's nice and flat with the ground. I like to actually take this and have a little bit of a pitch, because it allows to cut the grass not so short, so it grows better when it comes back. So we're gonna adjust this part right here so that we can get it nice and level where we want it. Okay, so now that we pretty much have it pretty flat with a little bit of a tilt to the back, I need to secure one more pin to keep it from moving around when I'm cutting. And once that's done, we can go ahead and start cutting. Some hay. So what I'm trying to do is, you got these two bars on both sides. You can see that one over there. I already got the safety pin. I gotta get this pin in here on the 5th hole, but that hole is not quite there yet, so I gotta move it so I can get it in there. That's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so we got the mower hooked up and everything. So I guess one thing that happened to me a couple weeks back, actually when I first did the first cutting of the hayfield, when after I got done raking and stuff, the tractor actually broke down on me. So what you see right here is the PTO, and the PTO is what drives all the implements. It gives power to all the implements so you can do the work of running those implements and cut the hay, rake it, bale it, whatever. But so what happened to mine, I guess my PTO stopped working, so it was turning, but it didn't have power to turn the implements. So something was wrong with it. I tried to fix it myself, but I don't know anything about tractors or any of this. So I ended up taking it in, and the guy that I talked to, he opened it up. He said that there were some discs inside the PTO that were pretty much burned out. He said that it could have been couple things. Either we ran something that was too big on it, like an implement, which I ruled that out, because all the implements that I bought, you should be able to run with a tractor that's 25 horsepower. The biggest things to run would be this one, and then this can be run with 35 horsepower. The tractor is at 45 or 47 horsepower tractor. So as far as that, I'm sure that the implements that I put in it were not too big for the PTO. So I really doubt that that's what burned the PTO on this one. However, he did say, you know, if you guys see right here, these are some hydraulic lines. There's two controls for this. And that's for, like, you know, for other equipment that you're using. If you got hydraulics, you can go ahead and use them and whatnot. So one thing that I noticed when I got the tractors was these two controls right here, they control those hydraulics to go up and down or whatever it is you got to do with them. But I noticed that those were pretty hard when I got them. And I thought it was just because I didn't have an implement hooked up to it. But apparently not. Apparently, like I talked to my neighbor Eric, who sometimes helps me. He's got his tractors and stuff, but he told me that they should move pretty freely even with the implement, no implement in them. So I told that to the mechanic, and what he said is that maybe that's what the problem was. He said that because the PTO works out of hydraulics as well, he said if I was having problems with those hydraulics and then somehow one of them got stuck in up or down or whatever, then that would make the pump run the whole time, and the hydraulic fluid will get too hot to the point that it actually, once I start running the PTO, it most likely probably burn the discs inside the PTO. I mean, I guess you may care, may not care about that, but it's one of the problems that I said I was going to be open to begin with, like what I'm dealing with here at the farm. So that was one of the things. Now the other shocker was, I guess, I went with the Branson. Well, a friend of mine had it, but it was a lot more, it was much cheaper, I guess, than, your John Deere, your more American known brands. The mechanic told me if I would have went with like an American tractor, chances are the parts would have just been, he would have just been able to get the disc, get those replaced, and then fix. Knowing that this tractor is made or imported from either, I forget if it's China or Korea, but it's one of those two. The problem with that is, I guess you can't just find just the discs, and then you have to buy the entire clutch assembly for the PTO. So of course, once you buy the whole part, then that's much more money than just buying the parts that you need. So that's a little drawback on I guess on the Branson, that I guess the parts are not like easily or rarely available like you would have from other tractors. You may be able to pull parts or do things like that. So, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's fixed. So hopefully we're gonna. Hopefully now the tractor's completely okay, and then we won't have any problems going forward with cutting the hay or none of the work that we have to do here on the farm. But yeah, that's a little insight on that. So let's go cut some hay. So we're gonna engage the PTO here. Turn it on. You can hear a lot more going now. It's actually pretty quiet, pretty smooth. So I'm pretty happy about that. I cut the outside field, like the outside of it. You guys can see right here, we marked the outer part of the field. And now we're going to turn around and go back the other way, and then we're going to cut in circles on the inside of this hay field. So that was like 2.5 hours. And we cut like, it's about 4 acres over here of land. But we got all the alfalfa cut down now, and then we're just gonna let it sit down for 2 days. I think we're gonna let it sit for the rest of today, tomorrow. I think Wednesday I'll probably rake it up in the afternoon and let it dry, and then Thursday I'll bale it. Okay, so cool thing is we just got called, or not called, but we got a message. There's someone that's looking for 150 bales. So me and Jason are gonna go ahead and load them up, and we're gonna go deliver them. So it's the first time we ever delivered them, so we were able to get 50 of them up there, and then we'll see. We might have to do 2 more trips after this. So we're gonna get them strapped so we don't lose any bales. We cut the hay Monday. It's been 2 days? Yeah. So it was Tuesday. We just sat here and dried. Today's Wednesday. It's around 1 in the afternoon. Well, actually it's like 1:30. But the field should be pretty dry, at least the top of it. I know it's dry. We're gonna check the bottom. And if it looks pretty dry, I think we're gonna rake it up in the windrows. It's just we pretty much, what it is, we're gonna take a couple of those rows and we're gonna rake them together to make one big row, so that way when the baler comes through, we can pick it up and bale it. Everything looks pretty, see, yeah, it looks pretty nice. I think the bottom of it's a little bit damp still, but it's not too damp. I mean, I think once we rake it up and we move it, all that stuff is gonna come up to the front, and then it'll dry, because we're not gonna bale until sometime tomorrow. So I guess what I read is, like, you take one of the thickest parts of your hay, wherever you get the thickest, and that's the ones we kind of want to look at. So this one is there. So the top was pretty dry, even the bottom was pretty dry. I think once we rake it over, put them on the windrow, they'll dry up pretty good, and they'll be ready to be baled tomorrow morning. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna unhook the mower, hook up the rake to the tractor, and then we'll come rake this up. I want you to see, we got our rows that we cut, and that's what we're trying to achieve right here. Windrows. It's like, so you just take, I'm taking 4 of them and I'm gonna combine them into one big one to create a windrow. I'll let you guys see what it is that I'm doing here. So I'll put the camera back here. You guys can see how it looks once the rake starts breaking all this stuff in.
gonna try to sell it from the field, sell it a little bit cheaper. So if you come and pick it up from the field, the cost is cheaper, so we don't have to pay anybody for labor to help us put everything in the barn, and it's a lot of heavy work. So we do have some people come in tomorrow to pick some up, and then the rest will pick up and put in the barn. But it's a beautiful day today. It's probably like 76 and windy. And cloudy. Look at the clouds. Beautiful.